One in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Law Talk. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin. We are live today. This is day 69 in this coronavirus siege, and things are beginning to get back to normal as far as the economy is concerned. Welcome to today's show. We've got a lot of places open. Grocery stores have, of course, remained open the whole time. What the government has determined to be essential businesses has been open all the time. We can all question whether or not there should have been more that were essential, whether there should have been less that were essential. A lot of that is on party lines, whether you're red or whether you are blue. And we certainly understand that. However, thank God Almighty, we are opening this thing up. The American people are behind the president and opening this up. Yes, there are a bunch of people that are not opening up also. And listen, folks, you can continue to not be open and be left behind. And if you value your business, if you value your favorite restaurant, your favorite bar, your favorite winery, please get out. Be cautious. If you feel like you need to wear a mask, wear a mask. We promise those of us that aren't going to wear them aren't going to ostracize you. We're going to welcome you back out to the community. We're going to continue washing our hands. We're going to continue to socially distance. Don't expect any hugs from me or from anybody else unless you are probably living with them. We're very careful even with other family members that we see from time to time as far as socially distancing from them. This has been a very serious disease. However, we've faced much worse down through the years, and then there's been, quite honestly, in my opinion, quite a overreaction to this disease. We have had over 95,000, almost 96,000 die in the United States alone, and they are saying that is because of the coronavirus. You know, who knows how accurate those numbers are? The vast majority of those were in New York and New Jersey and Illinois. Right now, Illinois and Massachusetts and Virginia and the District of Columbia are growing their cases at a rate higher than 10% per day right now. And so those are the hot areas right now. In Texas, not as bad. We do have have had, some of these have already recovered, 54,400 people contract the coronavirus, COVID-19. That's 188 per 100,000 people. If you look at all the different states, you have to go way down the list to get to a state that has less than 188 cases per 100,000. I mean, way down the list to way past half of the state. So we're doing a great job containing it here. Yes, we are growing by about 900 cases or so per day. However, we all know why that is, right? It's because we are now testing more. And if we were to test all the people that are asymptomatic, all of these numbers would be significantly higher because even the authorities are saying at current count, and again, you know, this number changes every freaking day you talk to them. What, you know, that 35% of people that have coronavirus are asymptomatic. What does that mean? That means they have no symptoms. They don't have any symptoms, zero symptoms. And there's a lot of symptoms to COVID-19. One is what I just did, coughed. There are lots of symptoms out there, and so you just got to be very careful and you know, socially distance. You still got to be careful. We're probably not going to trick or treat much this next year. We will not be able to do a lot of the things we would normally do, but there are other ways to do those things. But back to the numbers. So New York, out of 1,607,000 cases, New York and New Jersey combined for over 510,000 of those cases. So they're easily 1/3 of the entire nation of the cases. And if you add in New Jersey, Illinois, and Massachusetts and California, you're well past 50% of the cases in the entire United States. Again, deaths in New York State have been astronomical, 28,892. So by the time Memorial Day is done, they will have passed 30,000, I'm sure. New Jersey's at almost 11,000 right now, and then it starts to drop off a little bit, thank goodness, down all the way down. If you pull it up, Texas, and let me pull them up again. 1,501 cases of death, and that's 5 cases per 100,000 people. And again, if you go down the list, and you've probably looked at these numbers many, many times, just as I've looked at them many, many times, you'll see you have to go way, way down the list. Tennessee has 5 per 100,000 people. Utah has 3 per 100,000. Arkansas, 4. Oregon, you can see all these states are much less populous than Texas. Oregon, 3. Puerto Rico, 4. Idaho, 4. There's only a handful of states that have less than 10 people less than 7 people per 100,000 deaths in the United States, and we're among the top about 7 or 8 states in that category. So Texas is doing well. Thank you, Mr. Governor, for that. We appreciate you very much for all the hard work. We're going to talk in a minute after we take a break here about what's open and what's not open. Thank goodness. Almost everything is open here in Fredericksburg, Texas. And we'll talk more about that when we get back from this break we're about to go to. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to Law Talk.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin.
Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Petros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Well, good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Law Talk. I'm attorney M. Laughlin. Live today. I'm in Fredericksburg, Texas. It's overcast right now. Shane is in the studio helping me out there in Logic Nation studio. And good morning, Shane. You having a great day this morning?
Good morning. Well, you know, if you call cloudy outside and you can't get out for Memorial Day or anything like that, okay, then yeah, I'm doing okay. But now, I wish the weather were a lot better because it's supposed to rain all weekend long.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
It's not supposed to do that here in Fredericksburg. Maybe you need to come join me, bring the family, and come on down.
Hey, don't tease me. I will.
It looks like it's going to be nice. I haven't looked at Temple's weather yet, but I will look at it. By the way, guys, our number to call if you'd like to call us and make a comment or ask a question, 1-866-895-6442. Please put that in your phone. Put it in your speed dial, your favorites, whatever your phone calls it. That's 1-866-895-6442 or 866-89-LOGIC. And we're streaming on a lot of other stuff. And Shane, I apologize. I never do write this down. And so I cannot remember it. And you say it so fast, I can't write it down while you're saying it. Maybe you could text it to me during this segment, and I can help with that. But tell folks where they can find us on social media streaming live. Now, it's video also. Shane's there, so you'll see Shane. You won't see me. Maybe one of these weekends soon, I will be back in the studio and be able to be there live with Shane. But why don't you tell folks how they can listen and watch not only this show, but your show that'll be coming up after this one?
Sure. So social media, you can reach us or find us streaming live at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at our handle Logic Nation Radio. And on Twitter and Periscope, you can find us on the handle Logic Nation USA. And don't forget, we're streaming also on our website and mobile devices at logicnation.us. So you just go to any one of those, you can see us live and, and watch us and hear us and all that. So coming up on Weekend Logic, which is right after Ed's show, Law Talk, we'll be talking about what's going on this previous week and what to look forward to in the next week. So what's happened this week? Well, of course, Biden put his foot in his mouth again. So we're going to talk about that, and I actually have the clips to go along that, and And the Reverend Al Sharpton was, yeah, Biden said that, but, Trump's still a racist. So everything comes back to Trump eventually, as we all know. And then we'll talk about the governors and their lockdowns. Governor Whitmer in Michigan extended hers again. And then we'll talk about in the upcoming, Steve Mnuchin is saying that as far as the economy goes, another relief bill is likely to be needed. So we'll be talking about that as well with the economy coming up on Weekend Logic.
Well, exactly correct. And these lockdowns are, they may think they're helping, but there's other evidence that's showing the lockdowns just simply are not preventing the spread. Now, it may slow it a little bit, and I do somewhat understand the spread. The slowing down the spread we don't want happening to Texas, what happened to New York City, where they were in panic mode. They overloaded all of their hospitals. Not all of them. They overloaded some of the hospitals. They did not have enough ER beds. Beds to be able to hold the really serious people that had serious medical problems that were dying, and some of which, once they get them on those breathing tubes and things, it's almost impossible for them to recover and come home. But those doctors and those nurses and everybody worked valiantly around the clock, trying to save them, even in the great state of Texas and Bell County. Bell County, I think we have around, last count I saw, 250 or 60 cases. I have not written that down from previous days. 267 cases as of 2 days ago, and only 3 deaths. So we've had 267, probably up to 270, 275, probably as of today. We're still well under 300, and over half of those have already recovered. So those aren't active cases. Those are cases that people have had it, and then about half of them have recovered. So we're probably at more like about 170 or so that currently have COVID-19 that are diagnosed with it here in Bell County. And we're a big county. The majority of them have come from the Killeen area, Fort Hood area, but we do have Temple is the next highest number, and then it goes down to all the other cities: Harker Heights, Belton, Little River, Academy, Rogers, Troy, you name it. People are getting it and are recovering for it. So we pray for all of those people. We pray for the entire nation that's struggling under this right now, and hoping that we can get a grip on this and get a vaccine as soon as possible. And I know the president has unleashed his very valiant efforts to get not only treatments for this, but also vaccines to prevent it from coming back. And I do appreciate the president when he said, we're not going to shut down America again if it comes back. And if it shuts down, it's going to be on these governors, and it's not going to be on President Trump. And we know that we're facing an election year, and obviously some of that may be because of the election that's coming up in November. But what we need to do, folks, is get out there and push hard for the president to win that re-election. Can you imagine what this would have been like with a President Biden and Amy Klobuchar as a vice president? And we all know, the Biden is probably going to be a one-term or less president if he wins, and his VP will be right next in line. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he wasn't president for a couple of years. They declared him incompetent, because he already is pretty much, and substituted the VP in for that. And man, listen, if something were to happen to President Trump right now, God forbid, I know Vice President Pence would step in and do an amazing job as our next president. So we have to have Trump win this next election at all costs. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be back. Thanks for listening. The number 866-895-6442. Get your questions together. Call me during the next break.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it. Let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Art Coons, the owner of ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to ANC Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. ANC Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got two more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, Central Texas. You're listening to Law Talk, and I'm attorney Ed Laughlin. It's about 8:33. We got about 26 or 4 more minutes left. So we need to take a hard break for the news a little bit. We got one more break in between that, I think. But for now, we've got a little bit of time to talk. And, we've been trying to slow the spread, right? Well, Texas is leading the nation in slowing the spread of the virus. It may be spreading at epidemic rates in other states, particularly 24 different states are spreading at epidemic rates right now, particularly in the South and the Midwest, according to some new research that highlights the risk of a second wave of infections that reopen too quickly or without sufficient precautions. But I believe our Texas governor has put us in a great position to where we are gradually reopening. Just now this week, Bell County was able to open 50% of restaurants inside of the restaurant, so you can go in. Now, not every restaurant is opening up. They can pick and choose what they want to do. If I was a restaurant owner, I would be opening up 50%, but I would be very careful. Last night we ate at a restaurant in Round Rock. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was a steakhouse. It's the one right next to Chewy's. It's not Longhorn Steakhouse. I don't want to say anything bad about that, but I'm not real fond of some of those. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, great place. Every other table had a sign on it that said this is being reserved for social distancing. And they used paper menus that I presume, threw away. I made sure I crumpled mine up a little bit and made sure they did, in fact, throw it away after I touched it. Did not use paper or throw away silverware or glasses, but had a great meal, had a salad, had a baked potato, had a steak. Very good, enjoyed it very much. And then we came on down to Fredericksburg and looking forward to a great weekend here. And again, in Bell County, you can open most of the businesses 50%. Tattoo parlors are open. If you want to get your hair cut, colored, a perm, whatever it is you do to your hair, you can do that. You can go to massage parlors. You can go to stores that just sell tobacco and tobacco products. Certainly stores that are not, in my opinion, necessary. So they've opened up a lot of different places that you can go to if you choose to. The gyms are open, although some of them are not opened. I've noticed that Planet Fitness is not open yet on 31st South 31st Street, and I'm not sure what that means exactly. I know some of the others are open. Orange Theory is open in the shopping center where HEB is on South 31st Street in the Loop. So I don't know what's going on there. Had a lot of bankruptcy filings here recently. I know I'm getting off track here a little bit, but just last night, Hertz Rent-A-Car, they own Dollar, and they own, I believe, General Car Rentals or Thrifty Car Rentals. I think it's Thrifty. Thrifty Car Rentals, those filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They've got a massive, massive debt load, and you can imagine, every 2 years they have to buy an all-new fleet of cars, and they lease those cars, and then they sell them at the end of the lease. And so you have to have a lot of people renting cars, at airports and cities all around the world to keep that thing floating all the time. And when you have almost 70 days here or more where there have been virtually nobody renting a car. I mean, there may be a few people, but I mean, it has been shut down. Even Sharon and I have had 2 car rentals that we have had to cancel because we had trips planned and have had to cancel those. And so those car rental places lost that revenue along with everybody else. And, you know, some of these states, Hawaii is not recommending come at all till at least sometime in mid-June. And so that'll be about 80 to 90 days that the state of Hawaii is kind of shutting down. And even if you go to Hawaii, they want you to quarantine yourself for 14 days. Well, so, I mean, why fly to that gorgeous state and be stuck in your hotel room and only able to go out and get a little bit of food and bring it back to your room? You can't enjoy the beaches. You can't drive along the beautiful scenery. Can't do a lot of the things that, you know, you would love to be able to do. You just can't do it. And so who in the world, who in their right mind would want to go and do that? And there's other states like that too. And New Mexico, right next to us, that state that borders us, there's a 14-day quarantine. If you go to New Mexico, there's a 14-day period where you can't go do things. Well, again, nobody has vacations. Very few people have vacations like that. Now, if you own a home or a cabin or something in the mountains or somewhere in New Mexico, you can go, and maybe if you're retired, you can go bring enough food to be able to last most of that 14 days, maybe go out a little bit, pick up some food at some of the restaurants. A lot of the restaurants are open for business. However, in New Mexico, you still cannot go inside a restaurant and consume the food inside the restaurant. It's all take home and delivery there still. And so you can imagine those. But finally, they did open that up. Before this past weekend, you couldn't even do that. You had to just go to the grocery store. You couldn't even go and pick up in New Mexico. So they have a very, very strict governor there. As you might imagine, she is a Democrat. And they do have a couple of places where they're having a real difficult time controlling the coronavirus up in the Northeast, in the Farmington Aztec and the Navajo Nation, which covers 3 or 4 states up there in the Four Corners area, are having a lot of trouble. Also, Gallup, New Mexico, they literally shut down the exits to come into Gallup on that interstate highway there, and you cannot not even get in the into the city. They have policemen and deputies and things like that there to prevent you from being able to get in to that city. So a lot of people are having a lot of trouble. So, you know, I haven't been in a lot of places that check you carefully yet. And I've only worn a mask one time. I did go to HEB 2 weeks ago and wore a mask while I was in there just because I was coughing a little bit. Not because of the virus, but just I was coughing, and I didn't want to frighten or concern anybody else, and so I wore my mask. And so far, knock on wood, I've been very healthy. Everyone in our family has been healthy. Our law offices are healthy. And by the way, on that, all of our offices have been open during this entire pandemic period. We are essential business. If you need to come get a will, we're open for business for that. If you need to do a probate of a will, we're open for business for that. Thank you. Again, my coffee delivery here this morning. If you're needing to file for divorce, you know, right now, husbands and wives, they're not used to having everybody in the house all the time around each other. Sometimes that can grate on your nerves, especially if it's not the most healthy relationship anyway. And, you know, if you're contemplating filing for divorce, certainly we're open and available to you. I can video conference with you via Zoom. I can video conference with you via FaceTime. I can, of course, telephone conference with you using the telephone, or you can come in. And I prefer people to come in. but you don't have to if you feel uncomfortable. We do schedule our appointments every 30 minutes to avoid multiple people being in our lobby. Our lobby can seat 8 people. And then we have other offices that we can put you in if we were to get beyond that. And I do recommend to my clients, if they're going to come see me, I don't need the entire family coming. I just need people that need to be there. So if you're coming in, you got 5 kids, and if you can leave them at home, leave them. Don't bring them in. They don't need to be part of this. When you're going to the grocery store, don't bring your whole brood with you. Just bring, if you got an infant or a 2-year-old or something, I understand you've got to bring these young little ones here, but you don't have to bring the whole group of people. Well, I hear some music, and that must mean it's time to take a break. So we'll take our final break of this hour. When we get back, we're going to talk about some more things about the coronavirus. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to Law Talk.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, QuickWrenchAutomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE-certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
All right, I'm back. I got my headphones back on. Thanks for listening to the show, folks. We're on every Saturday morning, 8 to 10. This is Law Talk with Ed Laughlin, broadcasting live from the Logic Nation studios there in Temple, Texas. And we got a full programming for you today. We've got my show, and then Shane's going to be coming in and going to be talking about a lot of things on his show, Logic Nation, this week or this weekend. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about what you're going to be talking about again, Shane?
Okay. And it's Weekend Logic, by the way. What?
Try not to butcher it, the name of your show, too, like I did.
Well, right after Law Talk, we're going to be Weekend Logic will be streaming live on logicnation.us, as well as all of our social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, and Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. So we'll be talking about what's come up in the previous week and what's going on in the next week. Some things, Biden put his foot in his mouth again, and Al Sharpton is basically defending him by saying, he probably shouldn't have said it, but Trump is still racist. And then we'll be talking about all the governors and their lockdowns. And I have audio from the barber from Pennsylvania that's in court, and we'll be play some audio from him. And then we'll be talking about the economy and what to look forward to, as Steve Mnuchin is saying another relief bill might be necessary. So that's what's coming up on Weekend Logic after Law Talk.
All right. Well, perfect. By the way, I just got a text and that Donald Trump's selling some T-shirts that say #You Ain't Black by Joe Biden. So you might want to pick one of those up, Shane.
That is
Maybe
awesome.
We can sell those on Weekend Logic or on whatever we choose to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, certainly we're doing a great job on social distancing and crushing the curve here in the great state of Texas. The governor's done a good job of slowly and carefully, with a lot of measures, opening things up and making sure that people are still socially distancing. We're still washing our hands. I'm in here. Well, I was in here by myself. I've got a few folks in the lobby right now, but until now I haven't had a single person in here in over an hour. And so I haven't had to wash my hands. I probably will wash them during the break, a hard break for the news here in a couple of minutes, just to be 100% careful. And we got a Memorial Day weekend coming up. Matter of fact, it's already started. So, I would just make sure you're careful. Make sure you, if you go to a restaurant, wash your hands when you get there. Use hand sanitizer. I'd encourage you to cook out at home and invite some family over, close family, maybe some close friends, and just, again, socially distance. If you're going to serve adult beverage, make sure you serve them in a plasticware, or even if it's a non-adult beverage, a Thai tea or water, serve them in a to-go cup. I'm drinking Starbucks coffee right now, and Starbucks has a policy right now that they are not serving anything, even in their stores, in a regular, ceramic cup or stoneware mug or anything. Everything is plasticware, paperware, things like that. So they are having to do that. And this weekend will be the first test of some of the systems that we've got in place right now. And we need all of the areas in the United States to succeed this weekend, because we will then be able to open even more out. And even like Fredericksburg has been open 50% for the last 2 weeks now, or 3 weeks. We never were at 25% here because we have less than 6 people with a confirmed case of viruses. And also, if you're out there and you're wondering about what to do, the hotels still do have rooms available, and we would love to have you. Sharon and I are here at the Windcrest Inn and Suites this morning. We would love to have you. We'd love to meet you at one of the wineries. We're going to be probably heading out to Augusta Bend a little later. Beautiful place, has lots and lots of outdoor seating available. They can probably seat 150 people outdoors, which is remarkable. It's way more than any of the other wineries here in this area have outdoor. They also have seating indoors, and they probably can, well, even with the 50% guidelines, they can probably accommodate 45 to 50 people inside. So I would imagine they can accommodate 200 people at a time. They still are not serving it with a glass. You can bring your own plasticware, your own glass there if you want, and you can do a tasting, or you can also open a bottle of wine, buy a bottle of wine, and share it with your friends if you've got several of you there, and have a great time there. Again, all the restaurants in Fredericksburg are open, indoor seating available. Some of our favorites are Rathskeller. It's a basement restaurant. That's a great restaurant to go to. Let's see, Crossroads Restaurant. Love Crossroads. What's that? Osland Under, yes. And also Sunset Grill, by the way, which is right next door to where I am, is one of the number one restaurants for breakfast and lunch. And so we certainly do enjoy going there. So there's a lot of places to go and do here, and I think you would enjoy that. I had one more thing I wanted to get in here, and we'd love to have you come. So come down and enjoy Fredericksburg with us. Come up and ask for Ed and Sharon Laughlin. They'll contact us, and we'll come down and greet you, and maybe we can all go somewhere. So what we need no catastrophes during this weekend, and so far there have been no catastrophes since the country has opened things up. Georgia was the first one to open up, then Florida, and then Texas. And so far there have been, that's three large southern states that have moved very aggressively to open up, and none of them have had a crushing set of cases, new cases, or deaths. They've been holding very steady on all of that. Since then, in Georgia, that governor there, Brian Kemp, he bucked the system. He bucked the White House and opened up. And but local officials and asked the local officials to lift the stay-at-home order. That was on April 24th. The state had reported 862 cases on Thursday since April the 24th. And so that's a very low amount. Texas is actually having more people test positive for coronavirus, but we are way low as far as the number of people with it per 100,000 in your population. Matter of fact, we're way below the bottom 50% of people of states with coronavirus. And so less than 946 new cases as of Wednesday of this past week. So that is a amazing thing for the Peach Streets states opening, and I hope they continue to do as well. Their deaths rose by 78. That's the most numbers since April 27th. Their total death toll there is 1,775. And I do believe I gave you our death toll earlier. Bell County, 3 deaths still. We only had 3. We've been at 3, thank goodness, for a long, long time. We have a total of 294 that have been tested positive for coronavirus. Most of those have now recovered. They no longer have coronavirus. They are healthy and well now. Very proud for that. So Governor Kemp in Georgia is going to order an official review to see how the state was compiling its numbers and make sure they're having everything is completely accurate. And I think we're just seeing now that really being shut down and confined to our homes and not being able to get in our offices and things just did not help anything. I mean, it did not really stop the virus. You could still get the virus. You know, we had Walmart open. My gosh, what could be more dangerous than to walk into a Walmart before they started limiting people? And same with your grocery stores. And again, these states are going to make mistakes. They're not perfect, but they're doing an excellent job in this host's opinion. With that, I'll take a quick break. We'll take a break for the news. We'll be back in about 6 minutes. Thanks for listening. I'm Ed Laughlin.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
try. All you gotta do is set me free, 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 free. I don't want no one if I can't have you to myself. I don't need nobody else. So if I can't have you to myself, set me free. Set me free. Oh, set me free, little girl. All you gotta do is set me free, little girl. You know you can do it if you try. All you gotta do is set me free, free, free. Set me free. Oh, set me free. Your everlasting summer, you can see it fading fast. So you grab a piece of something that you think is gonna last. Well, you wouldn't even know a diamond if you held it in your hand. The things you think are precious, I can't understand. Are you reeling in the years? Stowing away the time? Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
We are prayerful tonight, Augusta Bend, which is 5 miles south on 16. Turn right, gorgeous location. I'm back on the air. I gotta go. I dropped there first. All right, welcome back, Central Texas. You're listening to Law Talk, and I'm attorney Ed Laughlin. I'm live today in the studio. I'm sorry if I didn't come right back in on cue, Shane. I was talking with some folks here and lost track of time a little bit, and then realized the music was coming down. The number to call is 866-895-6442, 1-866-89-LOGIC. If you'd like to call in, ask a question, make a comment. If you want to brag on what a wonderful job I'm doing this morning, you can certainly do that. Will not hurt my feelings. By the way, 37 years ago today, I made a fateful phone call to a law firm and talked to my wife, current wife, and we got married about 5 months later, and she's sitting beside me right now. So 37 years ago we met. That is an anniversary of some kind, right? Well, you're my current wife, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we've been married. We got married in October, so that'll be 37 years ago. And anyway, it's been a lot of fun. So we'll keep it going as long as I stay alive. She's a couple of years younger than me, so she probably will last longer than I will. Anyway, and also my parents, I did want to point this out, a week from today, they will be celebrating their 67th wedding anniversary. Let that sink in a minute, folks. 67 years married. They were married in 1953. So just an amazing marriage, and congratulations to them. And I'm sure I'll have more to say about that next week on the radio. Now, we were talking about social distancing. We were talking about how good several southern states were doing, opening up the economy. We talked about Georgia before we took that last break. I want to talk briefly a little bit about Florida. Florida is just south of Georgia, and they had some beaches that were abruptly closed after they were being swarmed by sun worshipers. But however, they have reopened those beaches again. And on Thursday, there were 1,204 new cases confirmed in the state of Florida. Now, they have 29.5 million people in the state. That brings the total of confirmed cases to 48,675, according to the Miami Herald. And of those, over half of those have already recovered from the coronavirus. And so there's really about 20 to 21,000 of actual active cases there in that huge state. You know, if you've ever been there, you know how spread out it is. It, even from east to west down in the Tampa area over to Miami, it'll take you 5 or 6 hours to drive across just the narrow part. And if you're going to go from the Keys all the way up to Tallahassee, I'm not even sure how long that would take, but that would be probably 14 hours or more, maybe 16 hours of driving. They have 48 more COVID-19 fatalities since they opened yesterday. So that brings their death toll to 2,144, significantly more than, of course, in the great state of Texas. Florida was one of the last states to impose a lockdown. They did it on April 2nd. Texas did it in March. I'm not sure exactly when. I know when spring break hit around April the 7th or 8th of this year, March 7th or 8th, we were real concerned about what was about to happen, so we canceled our plans. I don't think the lockdown occurred for another week or so thereafter. So but they've had a lot of deaths. And since then, they've begun gradually reopening on May the 4th. Their 7-day average of new cases is basically flat, according to a chart published by my personal newspaper, and I'm being facetious here, the New York Times. And so they're doing a great job. They have had a spike, but then they've had another dump of more than 50,000 test results. And that, of course, is what made that spike come up like it did. In Texas, there were 945 new cases Thursday. That's the last report that I have. So we have a total of 52,268 cases. And I thought I wrote down a more recent number than that, but I don't see it on my page. So 52,268 cases. That's according to the Texas Tribune. The 7-day average of new cases is kind of how they look at those things, rose steadily from around 1,000 on May 1 when we lifted the lockdown, when Governor Abbott lifted the lockdown that he had ordered on March the 19th. But it began dipping on Sunday, and now it's around 1,250, according to the chart prepared by the Tribune. 21 COVID-19 deaths in the Lone Star State on Thursday, increasing the total number of fatalities to 1,440. So, Justice Lieberman, the Texas Supreme Court justice, and her husband became the state's first high-ranking official to be infected. She announced that, I think it was a Friday or Thursday night, and she's actually been on this show with me about 3 years ago as she was running for re-election. And but she announced that her and her husband had tested. They had started, feeling ill. They were having fevers, body aches, things like that. They took the test. They got it back in 2 or 3 days. And she said, it was perplexing because they had done everything they could to stay at home. They strictly adhered to the stay-at-home order since early March. They did have some family come into their home, including a grandchild, a 2-year-old grandchild. I'm sure they were looking forward to seeing. And probably as a result of that, because now we're hearing that you can't get it as much on tabletops anymore. Before the science was it stayed on a tabletop for 15 hours. That's been proven erroneous. A lot of the things that have been said, at one point we were going to have a 1.5 million to 2.5 million deaths in the United States. Well, that science was proven to be false. And it's just not, there's just been a lot of misinformation, and it's hard to react when you've got a lot of misinformation floating around. And, I realize they're not perfect, and they are going to have, they're grappling with this for the very first time in all of their lives, just like we are also. But I just wish if they put something out, say this is the best information we have as of right now. This is what is going on. Not this is the facts. Do not doubt me at all, because it keeps changing every single day. And even the state of New York is going to open up. They're starting to open up right now a little bit. Up in the northern areas a little bit. I don't think New York City is opening up yet. And again, the nationwide or confirmed cases increased by over 25,000 people yesterday, 25,000 people. The total exceeding 1.5 million. But new cases are basically on the decline, which is excellent, excellent news. So with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Law Talk.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin.
Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Betros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education
and to finish what I started to get my diploma.
Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
All right. Welcome back, Central Texas. You're listening to Law Talk, and I'm attorney Ed Laughlin. We're live today, not in the studio. Shane's hanging out in the studio, taking care of business for us there. We appreciate it very much. You know, I did want to do a programming note. Next week, I'm going to talk about what you need to do to do a property tax appraisal appeal. A lot of people have gotten their tax appraisals, and they've jumped significantly. One case I heard, it jumped 300%. 300% increase in taxes and appraised tax value in 1 year, folks. Outrageous. A lot of people got them 30%, 40% or more. You don't have to put up with that. You can appeal that. You have to go into that very carefully with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of information. And it does help if you've done it before. And I've appealed these appraisals many times for clients, and also I've done it for properties that Sharon and I own also. So if you need help with that, give my office a call, 773-8399. I'd be happy to represent you. I can tell you how hiring an attorney is normally the better way to go, how much money I can save you over a 3 to 5 year period, and how it's definitely makes sense from a financial standpoint to hire an attorney. Now, I did also want to do another programming note that we do have a couple of other shows that are broadcast through our Logic Nation studios there in Temple. Our primary focus is on Logic Nation. It's a Monday through Friday show from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., hosted by Matt Vitros, and that's 8 to 11, Monday through Friday. Looks like something's coming in. Anyway, so you would like to, certainly would like to listen in on that. It's a full call-in talk show, and I think you would enjoy the content quite a bit. Then after this show is on, off the air, Shane Currington hosts the show, and it is called Weekend Logic. It's right here. You can listen to it live on a number of different venues. And Shane, why don't you take it away and tell them a little bit about your show in general, how you came to do the show, and what you're going to be talking about specifically today.
Sure. Well, you can listen to us. We are a streaming show. We're not on KTIM or any of the radio stations. We stream over logicnation.us and through social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, and Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. And basically what the show's about is most political shows, they just replay what they've done, throughout the week. It's a replay. Well, what we do is we look at, this is kind of our weekend review and looking forward to what's coming up next week. It is live. I look at, today, for example, we'll be looking at the lockdown orders. Governor Whitmer has again extended her stay-at-home order, going over her bounds as governor. We have some comments from Dr. Fauci. We are looking at some other things. Joe Biden put his foot in his mouth again this week. So we'll be looking at all that, the weekend in retrospect. And then we'll be looking forward to what's coming up in the next week. Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, is thinking another stimulus bill might be necessary for the economy. So we'll be talking about the economy a little bit and what we'll be doing, with Pelosi's $3 trillion, monstrosity of a package. So we do it all live, and instead of replaying what's been done throughout the week, we'll just do it live and talk about the issues that are going on in the country today. So that's what's coming up after Law Talk.
That sounds fantastic. And if you have the time, Shane, I don't know if you can do this while I'm broadcasting, but there is a great video quote of Joe Biden proudly declaring that he is going to beat Joe Biden. So you need to try to find that for not only yourself, but for Logic Nation, and make sure they've got it for this next week.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to. That's too funny.
That's hilarious, as a matter of fact. Well, anyway, so thanks very much, Shane, for holding down things there in Temple, and we'll look forward to hearing more from your show here in just a few minutes. We got about 36 more minutes left of this show, and then right after the hard break for the news, Shane will be coming on. And again, I'll break into him one more time so he can give you the locations of where to stream his show, so you can listen to that this morning. So Memorial Day, normally people have barbecues and things like that, and they gather with friends. It may look a little different this year, but there are things you can do to make the most of it. And normally we don't do steaks. When we do things, we do hamburgers and hot dogs and things like that. Maybe knocking down, getting some good old iced tea, Texas brewed iced tea. We prefer it unsweetened, but a lot of people, Sharon's brother included, prefers that good old Texas sweet tea. We don't do that, but other people do. But anyway, so the barbecue is going to be, it's a tried and true tradition of this weekend, but it's going to look a little bit different. Just going to have to be careful. Some people are going to bring their own food to gather. You should try to have your own family during this or a very small quarantine bubble at your Memorial Day gathering. If you plan on joining with another group, make sure to maintain a physical distance, and I'm talking 6 feet or more if you can, and bring your own food. Try to stay outdoors as much as you can. Don't share a bowl of chips. I'm thinking it would be better that the chips be poured into a plate, individual plates, or they be served in individual servings, little small packages of chips. That's actually better for you anyway from a health conscious point of view, a calorie point of view, than anything else. The mustard, the ketchups, all the condiments and things like that is a better idea to have that in individual servings this year. And even yesterday when Sharon and I ate out last night, they did not have salt and pepper on the tables, or at least on every table. And I thought they were going to bring, she asked for some, and I thought they were going to bring it in little packets, which is what most places are doing. But now they did have them, the containers at the tables. They just were at another table, and I think they're kind of sterilizing them, cleaning them up a little bit in between customers that come in. And so, again, if you're going to have dips and things like that, there may be a little bit of an ick factor when you're double dipping or someone's, dipping something in there. I would recommend you not, you have it in separate containers on that. All right, well, that segment ran fast, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Law Talk.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, The truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got two more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education
and to finish what I started to get my diploma.
Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving.
A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Beautiful place. One of your favorites, I promise you. There's a bunch of others too. They're nice. All right. Welcome back, Central Texas. You're listening to Law Talk, and I'm attorney Ed Laughlin. 9:33. We only have about 20 minutes or 24 minutes left of the show. Shane's got me tied down to where I have to stop at 9:57. That's when the music starts again. I actually have one more break in between now and then. So anyway, we're having a great time this morning. Hope you are too. Been talking about what to do for the weekend. And I was talking to some folks here in the lobby. We invited them to go out to Augusta Bend, the winery out there. Beautiful winery. They've just added a lot of outdoor seating. So they have a lot of room available for people. And I think if you come to Fredericksburg, and we still have hotel rooms available for the weekend, the shops, every single shop is open. Every single restaurant is open. Every single winery is open for not only tastings, but also bottle sales. And, of course, if you want to join and be a member and get your selection every quarter, you can do that. And it's a great thing to do, a lot of fun. And I think you would enjoy it. And if you're married, your wife would appreciate it. I promise you that. But we're here, and barbecuing is a big deal over the Memorial Day weekend. Meat may be a little bit more difficult to come by this weekend. They're kind of a little bit of a shortage on that. But if you're grilling, make sure the food goes straight off the grill and onto the person's plate. Don't share it like in a big plate like you would normally, and everybody picks their own piece of meat out. As far as alcohol, for those that like to partake in alcohol, a good barbecue wouldn't be the same without an ice-cold beer. But think twice before chugging down your third or fourth one. When you drink a little, sometimes you get a little closer. You get a little more touchy. Hands touch. You want to hug. You want to shake people's hands. You want to pat their back. Things like that. Just try to limit it to one or two. After you're finished with that drink, make sure you throw away the cups, the plates, the cutlery yourself right away. Don't leave them at the table for someone else to throw away. Be kind to your host or hostess. Don't let them do it, because that's another way for them to get infected themselves. If you like to play sports, instead of football, you might try the other football, and that's called soccer. Because people kick the ball, they don't normally touch it with their hands that much. Tennis, another interesting thing about tennis is people are starting to play tennis, but they're marking the balls with, your ball, you might have an X on the ball, and so you only touch your ball. And so if it's time for you to serve, you only pick up the ones that are your balls. And the other party that you're playing against will pick up their own balls. Pool games, I wouldn't recommend. If you're out in the pool and hanging out, chlorine isn't a very effective way to kill the virus. So pool water, if it's properly maintained, should be safe. But I would not suggest playing games like Marco Polo where the person has their eyes closed and everybody's trying to avoid being touched. And you probably know how that's played, so I don't have to explain that to you. But if you or your kids decide to jump in with other people, just make sure you're maintaining the proper social distancing the way you're supposed to be doing, and everything should be fine. No water basketball, no Marco Polo, anything like that. I think the lakes are all open, so I think you should be able to go to the lakes without any problem, and at least I certainly hope so. It's going to be a beautiful day. A little bit of possible rain. Here in Fredericksburg, we've just got a 30% chance of rain for a couple of hours, and then but that's all it is 30%, so we may not get anything right at all And Temple, I think it's about the same. And there's just not going to be that much rain. I'm looking at Temple right now. You guys have actually you're clear all day long until tonight. So you got the entire day. Then there's no chance of rain until about 3 or 4 in the morning. So you should be great. As far as worship, churches are open. Most of them are. I know a number of them in Temple that are actually going to have services in their buildings this weekend. Our church here in Fredericksburg is having 3 services this weekend. They're having one today at 5, one tomorrow at 9, I think it is, and one at 10:30. So to be able to socially distance and make sure everybody spreads people out a little bit, they're having 3 services instead of their normal 2 services. And I think everybody should be safe and should not have any problems with that. And then, of course, it is Memorial Day weekend. We need to remember to honor our fallen heroes. Don't forget what this weekend is all about. And while most Memorial Day parades and public ceremonies have been canceled, there are other ways you can still remember. I know in some areas, most people, they'll put out flags and flowers and things like that at cemeteries. Some of the areas you cannot do that. I think in Temple, they're not allowing that, but I know in East Texas they're allowing that, and put a flag at each grave. And at national cemeteries, they're still going to have a wreath-laying ceremony along with a moment of silence and the playing of taps, which is going to be live streamed on the National Cemetery Administration's Facebook page. And I think it certainly makes sense to honor those folks that paid the ultimate sacrifice in defending our country. And you can leave comments if you want to do that. You can go to the Veterans Legacy Memorial, and you can leave your own personal comment there on that page. And for the first time in its 31-year history, the National Memorial Day concert will be held virtually. And just like so many things have gone to virtual, and, my court hearings are now by video conference or telephone conference until this is resolved, that concert is going to be virtual. It's hosted by actors John Mantegna and Gary Sinise, and will feature the U.S. Army Chorus and the National Symphony Orchestra. And then a Broadway star who I've never heard of, but you might have, Kelly O'Hara, will be there among many, many others if you want to watch that. And it's going to be live streamed on pbs.org. It'll be live streamed on YouTube and on Facebook. And if I thought I knew it for sure, I'd say Shane's going to do it on Logic Nation Radio, but I don't know if he's got that queued up yet or not. But it's going to be a lot of different places. So again, don't forget the reason for the weekend, and I think we'll be just fine. Let's see, a couple of other things just very briefly. The more and more companies are having to file bankruptcy. The Temple Mall still has not opened up a lot of the stores. JCPenney still has not opened up the Temple Mall. I've been told it is a virtual ghost house there in the Temple Mall. Just Victoria's Secret is open. Dillard's is open. Maybe some of the food court restaurants are open. But pretty much everything else is closed down. I haven't heard if the movie theater there is open or not, or if it's closed down. But anyway, and we don't know if JCPenney's is going to open up that store. The rumor is that they will open it up at least for the next year to 2 years, even if they decide to close that particular JCPenney. And they are going to close 30% of their stores is what the current estimate is in this Chapter 11 that they have filed. But even if they do open it up for a little while just to sell off merchandise, my prediction is probably JCPenney's within 5 years will be no more, just as it's very, very likely that Sears will be no more, and many of the other places that you're used to going to will be no more. They will have gone the way of Amazon taken over, and some of those places like that where you can buy it, Walmart.com, Target.com, all the different ways to buy online where you don't have to leave your bedroom and leave your sofa. You can order and it gets delivered in a day or two. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Law Talk.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop. Family owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE-certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it going to be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, Central Texas. You are listening to Law Talk, and I am attorney Ed Laughlin. I believe that was my last break of the day, so why don't we spend the next few minutes talking a little bit about politics, one of the things that Shane's going to be talking about here online here right after this show's over, and also Logic Nation spends a great deal of time Monday through Friday, 8 to 11, talking about that. And one of the biggest things that came out really over the last week is Joe Biden's comments on talk radio. He was a guest on a talk radio spot by a guy by the name of, he goes by Charlemagne the God. Now, that makes me think, Shane, we need to have a better name than Law Talk with Ed Laughlin or Weekend Logic with Shane Currington. We need to come up with something a little bit better than that. So I'm putting you in charge of coming up with a name, okay?
Okay. I'll try to come up with something better than something like Charlemagne or something. Oh, Lord.
Well, and make sure. Now, I'm gonna. I don't want you announcing it on the air until I've approved it, of course. But I will be interested in hearing what you come up with. Also, by the way, if you haven't gotten a text yet from my wife, she says go ahead and order the equipment for Windcrest.
Yes.
So we want to get that done, get it in ASAP.
Yes.
So we can get some upgrades going on here at Windcrest Inn and Suite. All right, so let's see. We just got a couple of more minutes left of the show. But, Joe Biden, what a nutcase. I mean, really, this is the best the Democrats can come up with. He's made a couple of very strange comments this week. The latest thing he said was he was on this radio program by Charlemagne the God, and he was trying to leave, and the host wanted him to stay a little longer, and his handlers were trying. Biden's handlers were trying to get him out the door, and he said, "I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out," this is Biden speaking, "I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black," he said, and those remarks were blasted across the political spectrum. Since then, Biden has walked them back, saying in an afternoon phone call with the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce that he shouldn't have been so cavalier. He also said he's been endorsed by the NAACP. The NAACP has pushed back on that claim, and they said, and I'll quote, that they have not endorsed him, never have endorsed him, because Biden said every time he's run that they have endorsed him. But the group put out a statement that said they are a nonpartisan organization, and the NAACP does not endorse candidates for political office at any level, end quote. And that was a statement by Derek Johnson, the president and CEO of the NAACP. So I don't know about you, but that explains it pretty well. And, Biden said, look at my voting record, my voting rights record for the last 25 years. He said he has a record of second to none. And, of course, we can believe everything he says, because just this week he said that Joe Biden was going to work hard to defeat Joe Biden in this race. And I'm hoping Shane can find that clip so he can share that with you guys in a little bit. And, the guy he has lost it. And you can't put him in front of a microphone unless he's reading a script. You just can't do it. If he doesn't have his script, he just goes crazy, and he does not do what, say the things he should have done. And he's going to single-handedly lose this election if his handlers cannot get control of him. He just simply, is wrong in that. The NAACP did not ever endorse him, never have endorsed anybody, and it's certainly not something that he should be talking about. Bill Maher, of all people, now says he regrets Trump's impeachment. and that it has emboldened him and made him stronger. And it was just a horrible thing, this Democratic-led impeachment of the president. And obviously, Bill Maher is not a fan of Donald Trump. And he had a conversation on his show last night with liberal filmmaker Michael Moore. You all know him. He pointed to Trump's recent firings of the Inspector General, most recently the ousting of the State Department watchdog Steve Linick, and complained that these firings got very little media attention amid the coronavirus pandemic. And because, you know what, the president has the right to get rid of these folks. And, you know, quite honestly, if he had had the time, he should have gotten rid of a lot more of the holdovers from the Obama administration. Many of those, the whistleblower that led to the impeachment was a holdover that was a good friend, contributor to Hillary Clinton, good friend and contributor to Obama, and he should have gotten rid of a number of those and things like that. And so again, you know, the Ukraine scandal, you know, we need the Ukraine scandal examined more carefully, and you know, paying attention to investigating Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden that has made millions of dollars there, and what Joe Biden said on camera, not on video, audio and video, that he threatened to fire them and withhold money unless they stopped looking into his son, Hunter Biden. And of course, Hunter's the one that has entered into a relationship with his deceased brother's widow, and just, you know, among other strange things that he's been doing. And again, you just can't, sometimes you can't make up some of these things. You know, we could talk about Governor Cuomo and this nursing home tragedy that occurred. I mean, and the report on the nursing homes, you know, has been overlooked and ignored by Governor Cuomo. But, you know, those of you who don't know, you know, you've got these vulnerable people that are very old, very ill, and he was putting people that had coronavirus, the governor was, putting them in these nursing home facilities, a place where they should have never been put. And Cuomo, obviously, he doesn't want anybody talking about that because, you know, he's on TV every day touting all the things that he's done. But, yeah, look at his state. It's been a disaster from A to Z, from the start until this thing finally is over with. More cases, more deaths than any other place in the United States. And these daily press conferences, no one's asking him about the scathing Associated Press report that was just published that's highly critical of the way in which Cuomo handled the state's nursing home coronavirus crisis. And that was just the latest instance of what critics have had to say in the mainstream press, unwillingness to ask this popular governor of New York tough questions about the decisions he made during the pandemic. And things he should have made that he didn't make. He was asked about reopening New York, Memorial Days, beach policies, weekend policies. And he was asked whether the state should legalize marijuana and sports gambling, but no questions at all about the nursing home crisis or that bombshell report by the Associated Press. Well, with that, it sounds like I'm out of time for this week's episode of Law Talk. Stay tuned after the news for Weekend Logic with Shane Currington. I'll see you again next Saturday on the radio. And so have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man. your worst man. You, your dog walker. Your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm gonna take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Oh,
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it going to be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.